So yeah, I'm Gam. If you guys don't know who I am, because I don't speak that often, I'm going to be doing my presentation on OSINT, which stands for Open Source Intelligence. So basically, what OSINT is the ability to find data from publicly available sources. So this can be blogs, social media, images, videos. So basically, any kind of data that's available online, and you can search for it. Well, not even online. Any data that's available publicly can be you can get through OSINT or use. I don't really know how to define that, but I'm pretty sure you guys understand. So why is this useful? So firstly, obviously, it's becoming more common in CTFs. It's going to be helpful collecting information about people, and it's also really good that because you can find out what information of yours is publicly available as well. So yeah, you can collect stuff like emails, phone numbers, basically anything, any kind of data that's available online. You can collect. God, I've seen it so many times. One of the different OSINT techniques that are there is called Google Dorking. So what that is putting advanced search operators into Google and getting a whole bunch of cool things. So you can get you can use some of these different operators, and you can find. So for example, if you use all in text username or password and file type maybe a log, and you actually get put into Google, you can find a whole bunch of log files with passwords and usernames that you could possibly get into. Depends on how secure they are, and if you whether you actually require a login to get into some things. Yeah. So these are a couple of OSINT tools you might have used. So social media, obviously, to find information about a person. You also have stuff built into Kali that you can use. You have reverse image searching. So TinEye, Google Images, Yandex. So you can get an image like we had in the very first slide. So that was one of the OSINT challenges we did back in Cyber, and you were basically given this image, and we had to find this location on a map. So you can use it for a whole bunch of different things. Depends on what you're actually doing and the context of what you're searching for. You have domain lookup tools. So who is look IP? So you can get information about the domain, and yeah, you can do stuff. I mean
Yeah, hang on. Let me just find out where you are on the slides. We'll go from the top. Social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and just social media in general. A lot of people post a lot of information on that. Obviously, it's recommended that if you're doing recon or something like that, you don't use your actual account, because a lot of the time, if you view someone's account on your own account, you'll get a recommended, they'll recommend, at least with a platform like LinkedIn, if you view someone's profile, it actually tells them. You can set it to private, but it will still notify them that someone viewed it, even though it is private, and it doesn't say specifically who. So that's why it's recommended to use alt accounts or to set your settings to private, etc. The Harvester, Maltega, Recon, NG, a lot of those will scrape, for example, LinkedIn for whatever you specify. So say if you're searching for people at a specific company, it will return a list of those. Reverse image search, if you're not familiar, you'll soon come to love it, especially for OSINT challenges. Just take any image and it will Google, TinEye, Yandex will search through the web. I think there is a disclaimer that Alan might speak to for one of those. Then domain lookup tools, pretty simple. If you've got a domain, you look it up, it will give you the IP and who's registered, registrar information pretty much. Wireless access points. Wigle is a tool that was introduced recently to myself and some of the other committee members. I highly recommend that if Gam can even switch over and flick over a trend now, that would be nice to show everybody. I'm not sure if it's practical functionality, but it's still very interesting. It maps all the wireless AP points. For example, this is New York. I can tell from Central Park, right in the middle. But if you zoom in, I don't know, anywhere, you can see all the wireless AP points, and some of them, I believe, even have MAC addresses, and you can search by MAC addresses on SSIDs. Yeah, so I believe it's only if you're publicly broadcasting your. Oh no, I was wrong. That's not New York. Okay, well there you go. It just looked like Central Park. Very rectangular. So yeah, you can see with Melbourne, there's a fair amount. And now these aren't entirely accurate. I couldn't find my own on there. But if you do zoom in, let's go for CBD and let's go right in on, I don't know, Flinders Street. Just have a look at some of them. Yeah, go all the way and see it, because names should start popping up if you keep going further in. Yeah, and try and click on one. And yeah, as Zeph said in the chat, if you're able to find the MAC address, you can often find the vendor. Even most people set their names to default, which still has the device name in it or the device model number, so you can search on the internet for that and find the default password or default credentials. A lot of people don't change those, as you guys may be familiar. So there's your entry point. Yeah, that's really all for Wigle. Just a cool tool. Google Cache and Wayback Machine can be your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on what you may have posted on the internet. If someone's archived your page, then good luck getting it removed. You can, I think I forgot to include in the slides, there is a something that you can do later, which I'll talk about, but you can remove content from the internet. That it's at Google's or Bing's or whoever's discretion, whoever runs the service. A great tool if you want to discern, let's say someone's being annoying on a game and they use a common username. So let's take Gamma Warrior, for example. Chosky. You can take that, put it in PQ, which is a username searcher, or instant username search. I mean, they're pretty bland and generic names. You can just Google them, and it will crawl through a fairly large amount of sites and check at their URL. Check the username URL for whether that exists or not. And so Chosky will check if on Instagram there's an account called Chosky, on Facebook and Steam and all those. So you're able to very quickly pull a lot of user accounts just from one search. And then a kind of a separate IoT internet connected device, which ties into OSINT, is ShodanEye and Google Dorking. Google Dorking, more specifically the GDHB, Google hacking database, I believe, and ShodanEye, which is just a list of publicly accessible IoT devices. So you can go on there and you can just watch random webcams in Germany or Japan, people that haven't changed the default passwords or have just left it open. A lot of baby monitors are on there, which is quite creepy. That you can also just look in random factories and stuff like that. It's kind of a illegal but not illegal, do at your own discretion. And we'll talk about ShodanEye a little bit later on as well. But I think that's all from me on that one.
All right, cool. Thanks. So yeah, we've got a bunch of other like tool lists for OSINT. So let's go to Awesome OSINT quick. Yeah, so you got a bunch of different tools you can get as well. So it's not just the ones that we listed above, but yeah, you can, whenever you get any kind of OSINT challenge, these are going to be really helpful. So go take a look at them whenever you have the chance. There are a bunch more. So yeah, ShodanEye.
So one of the CTF competitions we competed in, we placed within the top 1,000, which meant we won a free ShodanEye Pro account. So that's something that's open for the club members to use. As I said, with, I guess you could say it's kind of grey area, if not illegal. So I'm kind of hesitant to just, putting the password and username out there and going free reign, because it's one account and it's registered under SCSC. And so if anyone just Googles SCSC, Swinburne Cybersecurity Club will come up pretty quickly. Being ShodanEye, I'm pretty sure they can link the two. So we're just trying to cover our asses here. We don't want people to go on there and be creepy or anything. So it's kind of, if you want to use it, cool. Just let us know what you want to do. We'll set up, I think we're going to possibly just set up a temp password for like a period of time, and then we'll change it to something that you don't know, so that limits your access or removes your access. As per usual, it's more of a exploration tool. You just kind of go on there and look at stuff. Yes, you can use it for recon, but more than likely you aren't going to find what you're looking for on there. It's just a list of publicly accessible IP hosted devices. If you flick over to Shodan, a lot of this you can already do without a user account. That should be noted. Sorry, not Shodan. There's two. There's Shodan and there's ShodanEye. ShodanEye is, like, as I said, the pro version of it. You can just go to Shodan itself and you can pretty much summarize a bit. There's webcams, there's netcams, there's lots of cams, devices with default password in their batch files, video games databases, industrial control systems, all the above. It's pretty much just a repository. So use at your own discretion, and especially use the ShodanEye Pro at discretion. I think I may have confused the two. I think we have Shodan Pro and not ShodanEye, because ShodanEye is a separate tool, but made by the same people.
So basically, we have a fun little challenge that requires OSINT. So this guy has given us a cool little thing that we can use.
The idea of this is there's a YouTuber called DC Cybersec. A few of you may be familiar with him. He's posted he's made his own little OSINT challenges. Yeah, if you go to that video, read the description and watch the video, you've got to use the video image as well as any hints that he gives in the description. Please do not look at the comments. And then from there, you've got to look through and work out where he is. Anyhow, feel free to discuss it.
I believe that's all, unless you've added another slide. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this presentation. Cheers.